and move to the east of Ukraine, where Russia has struck a residential area in Kharkiv with a ballistic missile, and according to reports, it killed a 2-year-old boy and injured at least 15 people late last night, as the US president presses Kyiv to accept a quick peace deal to end the war. Governor Oleh Sobov confirmed that among the injured was a 13-year-old girl. He also said that civilian infrastructure in the Sumy region continues to be deliberately targeted treacherously at night by the enemy. Meanwhile, Ukraine's state emergency service told that windows in a nearby apartment buildings were shattered by the blast wave. This obviously comes as US President Donald Trump invites Zelensky to Washington along with other European leaders to discuss peace. We're now joined by Ross Feingold, who is a political analyst. He joins us live from Taipei, Taiwan. Ross, as always, pleasure to talk to you, and thank you for taking the time out of your day to sit with us. Ross, as we've said, this comes at a time when peace is being discussed. Hostilities escalate. Eastern Ukrainian cities continue to be bombarded by Russian drones and missiles. Ross, your thoughts and anticipations going into these peace talks while the Ukrainian cities of Kharkiv and Sumy continue to be the subject of escalating Russian aerial strikes?
Well, we don't know exactly what Trump and Putin discussed behind closed doors, but it appears, and it's probably a safe assumption, that Putin made no commitment to stop targeting civilian infrastructure, even if Russia denies that they do that. Obviously, they do. The death and destruction on the ground is obvious, and it's obvious that civilian targets are being hit by Russian attack. So one of the things to watch coming out of this latest attack on civilian infrastructure is what will President Trump say? When President Trump took office in January, there was an extended period of time afterwards for months while he talked about peace, possibly an initial ceasefire or even a longer-term peace agreement, where he was reluctant to criticize this type of attack by the Russian military on civilian targets in Ukraine. And subsequently, in recent weeks, Trump has periodically been very direct in his criticism, both of President Putin as well as the Russian military, for attacking civilian targets. So again, I think one of the things to watch in the coming hours and days is in the aftermath of the Putin-Trump meeting, and with the possibility of additional in-person meetings, possibly involving President Zelensky of Ukraine as well, is President Trump going to try to be a friend to all sides and not criticize this, or is he going to take to social media and in very straight language criticize this attack by Russia?
Yes, indeed, Ross. And what do you think of the dynamic coming into these talks of seeming united European front with Donald Trump in Washington?
We've often talked about that here on NewsX over the past few months, that generally speaking, the Europeans, and specifically the main European military powers, the countries with the ability to provide weapons to Ukraine and possibly to provide troops or air cover in the event of some kind of peace agreement or even a ceasefire, those countries like Germany, France, and the United Kingdom have largely remained united in their support for Ukraine. Well, what we really don't know, and just simply remains to be seen, is what kind of pressure is President Trump going to put on Zelensky to accept some kind of an agreement, whether that's a ceasefire or now that with all this talk about a more long-term peace agreement. President Trump is very likely to put pressure on Zelensky to accept something that involves Ukrainian territory being occupied open-ended by Russia. And that's going to put those European countries in the middle, because they're going to have to make a decision. And it's a difficult decision, but there's really not too many options. It's either one or the other. Either they're going to take the view of the United States and put pressure on Ukraine to accept that kind of arrangement, or they're going to tell the United States and President Trump, we disagree with you, which means they're going to continue to fund the Ukrainian government and provide weapons to the Ukrainian military. So the decision that those European countries have to make is again, it's a one or the other, but it's certainly a very difficult decision.